Last October, I just switched to Genki's top-tier, comprehensive international Nomad insurance plan when I went in for an annual checkup at a hospital in Bangkok. The bill came to $785. I submitted the claim and Genki initially approved it as preventative care with a €250 cap, which meant I'd be paying around $500 out of pocket for a test bundle my doctor had ordered based on my family medical history. So I disputed it. What happened next is the reason I'm still with Genki 8 months later, and the reason I'm recommending them. For context, I've been a full-time digital nomad for 12 years. Before Genki, I was with SafetyWing for years. I started considering other options because I'd been hearing less favorable things from other nomads over time, and I wanted to see what else was out there. That's how I found Genki. I started with Genki Traveler, then upgraded to Genki Native Premium about 8 months ago. The math worked out. I'm outside the US around 11 months a year, and the insurance I have through my US employer doesn't help me at all while I'm abroad. This is the actual 8-month experience. Around 25 claims with Genki across 6 countries: Thailand, Qatar, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Jordan, and Indonesia. All of them small things, nothing major. Why so many? Partly because of that Bangkok checkup. That preventative test bundle found an abnormal TSH, even without obvious symptoms. My family history of thyroid disease and osteoporosis meant the doctor wanted a thorough panel. The TSH came back high, so I've had several months of thyroid follow-up since. Blood work and consults wherever I happen to be next. Plus the standard stuff, a dental cleaning in Djibouti. Dental has its own separate annual coverage limit and is only covered under Genki Native Premium, but it is covered. Vaccinations, physio, telehealth follow-ups, mostly because I wanted continuity of care. I found a doctor willing to do telehealth so I could consult with the same person each time test results come back. Genki has paid out on almost every claim I've submitted, usually within 48 hours, and the few that needed back and forth got resolved. Back to the Bangkok dispute specifically. The doctor had ordered the test bundle because of my family history, and Genki initially classified the whole thing as preventative, which kicked it into the €250 annual cap and meant I'd be paying about $500 out of pocket. I disputed that classification. The dispute took a few weeks. I went through 2 denials. Worth noting, even Genki's own AI assistant was inconsistent during this process. At one point, it told me that tests ordered based on family history would be covered, which directly contradicted what the claims team was saying. I sent in medical certificates, family history documentation, and eventually pointed out an inconsistency in how Genki had classified similar tests from the same doctor on the same date. They'd covered some, denied others. At that point, Genki escalated the case to Square Life, and Square Life ended up covering it in full. Including that dispute and everything else, the running total at 8 months is around 25 claims, about $3,200 claimed and close to $3,000 paid out. Most claims are nothing like the Bangkok one. The dental cleaning in Djibouti, about 2 days from submission to payout. Thyroid follow-ups, almost all approved within 48 to 72 hours. The one claim that didn't go through was a dengue and hepatitis B vaccine in Jakarta. Genki classified the whole visit, including the doctor's consultation fee, as preventative care. And by that point, I'd already used my €250 preventative cap for the year on the Bangkok checkup. The whole thing was out of pocket, but only about $60. One thing I'd flag on the documentation side, Genki gives you guidelines on what to include with a claim. They tell you, for example, that not including a medical certificate from the doctor will delay processing. I've had back and forth on maybe a third of my claims. Not a deal breaker, but it's not as plug and play as I'd like. I pay €273 a month for Genki Native Premium, the top tier plan. No coverage limit, no deductible. Worth flagging that Genki pricing scales with age. I'm 34 right now, so that's where my number anchors. If you're younger, you might pay less. If you're older, more. Check directly with Genki for current pricing in your age bracket. For comparison, inside the Genki product line, Native Basic has a €1 million annual limit, and both Basic and Premium offer optional deductibles of €500 or €1,000 if you want to lower the monthly premium. I went with the unlimited, no deductible version of Premium because that's the math that worked for me. For comparison outside Genki, my partner Kevin is with Cigna Global. We get asked how the two compare, but his plan isn't really comparable to mine. His is essentially an emergency-only plan, about $90 a month, but with a $15,000 deductible for inpatient visits and no outpatient coverage at all. Different product for a different priority. The one number worth pulling out from the comparison, Kevin's Cigna plan covers preventative care up to $2,000 a year, whereas mine caps it at €250. For someone like me who'd rather catch things before they become problems, that's the one line item I'd most want Genki to fix. Vision is included in that same €250 preventative cap, by the way, though dental, as I mentioned, has its own separate limit. I can work around the cap. I plan my preventative care intentionally to stay under the limit or pay out of pocket when I need to. But it's the place where this plan feels underbuilt for the health focus I have. Last thing worth flagging is geography. My Genki plan excludes the US and Canada. I'm covered worldwide except those two countries. That works for me because I still have US health insurance through my job. There's also a version of the plan that includes full US and Canada coverage if you need that. Check directly with Genki for the details. Net of all that, I'm sticking with Genki and I'm recommending it broadly. The plan does what an international health insurance plan needs to do. It pays out reliably, the underwriter is reachable. When something goes wrong, they handle it. 2 specific things to know before signing up. 1, the preventative care cap is the place I'd most want them to invest in. If preventative coverage is a priority for you, Genki may not be your best option unless you're willing to pay out of pocket for some of it. 2, the claim submission process isn't fully standardized. Expect a little back and forth on documentation. Worth saying though, the process is fast. When I was with SafetyWing, claims weren't standardized either, and they were slow. By comparison, this is a minor nitpick. If you travel less than 6 months a year, Genki Native is probably overbuilt and you can stick to travel insurance only. Genki Traveler is the equivalent product in their lineup. If you're a full-time nomad with ongoing healthcare needs that you actually want to manage abroad, the comprehensive plan is where it starts to be worth the cost. Link to Genki in the description if you want to check them out. Subscribe if you want more honest reviews of the tools nomads actually use. I'll be back.